Okay, roll call. District 1, Mr. Gene Malgrove.
Here.
District 2, Ms. Joy Daigle.
Here.
District 3, Mr. Gary Dickerson.
Here.
District 4, Mr. Dale Wembley. District 5, Mr. Al Como.
Here.
Police Chief, Mr. Alvin Venable. Town Attorney, Mr. Brad Andrews. Town Clerk, Mr. Todd B. Shaw.
Here.
Okay, revised agenda. Anyone? Okay, let's go to reading and approval of the previous minutes. In your packet, or on the table, you will find the minutes of the meeting from the previous special meeting, February 15th, 2017.
I just want to move that we accept the minutes of the special meeting as read.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda. There is no action or discussion item under the old business. Under new items in the new business, first thing we have is the engineer report. Mr. Mayor.
Mayor, I have two items. You can all have a copy of my report. And items are, action item number 3, which is the Louisiana Safe Routes to School program. We applied in the past, not been granted any funds under that program. And it appears now that the program has undergone a little bit of a change. We believe that the change probably makes your chances for success less than before, unless you have a situation somewhere in town where you can document accidents and injuries. I guess what happened is they changed the program in that respect, and they also they broadened it to be safe routes to public places instead of just safe routes to schools. So to get more applications and the competition fierce. So we presented a resolution that you're go ahead and apply this year again. Include the resolution at the end of the engineer's report that to adopt. So we look forward to the deadline of March 31st. Second or third. I think it's the third time.
And we got denied all 3 times, or what?
Twice before.
What was the reason for the denial, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, that's a difficult question to answer because the communication with the agency hasn't really been very forthcoming. But I would guess that it's because there are few funds and lots of applications. We've had a difficult time getting the person in charge to help us evaluate the strength of our application. We had promised at one point that they were going to have a meeting where they would invite municipalities and representatives of the municipalities to apply and discuss what were the strengths and weaknesses of the application. But it never happened. So we can look at the LCDG program and we can understand how we're rated, how our rating compared to the others. This program didn't have that kind of information available.
Do you know, in comparison to other communities that have applied for the same grant, what they are actually submitting? Because I thought I heard you say something about documenting incidences or accidents. So I'm sure that helps.
Well, the new rules require that. The old rules did not require it. The old rules were you come up with a project that you think would enhance safety in your community. Give them an estimate, give them as much background and justification for it as you can, but it didn't have to be based on historical experience with accidents that occurred around schools or libraries or churches. But that wasn't required until now. So that's a new regulation.
But did you, all through repair, you can shoot. You repair it, like one way or consider you side.
I can tell you this, that they want you to have a beginning and an end that is a neighborhood and a destination, and I wouldn't think that repairs would be a problem, but they want to be sure that you begin and end in a definite place. They don't want you to take the money and go repair something. You have to have a route.
You think it's wise for us to apply, or?
Church Point has, I can tell you other communities who have tried and failed, and I don't know, I'm not familiar or involved in any communities who have succeeded. Raleig's done it, Wayne's done it, Catholics done it, and never received a grant. And they are all elected not to apply. Church Point has a situation that which they want to think about, and that's on Gidry, where there's a bridge.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we can document history, but we can sure show that when that bridge was there, that it does affect schools.
Right.
And children back and forth to schools. We didn't apply for that one in the past. And that one may have merit even though you may not have the history. So more than any of the other communities, that was a reason that you may want to consider. Because if you can get the money to replace that bridge, then I think you greatly enhance safety on the school.
In your opinion, you've been a city for this
You got no shot unless you apply. It's just a matter of the cost that it takes to apply, which is nominal. You don't spend a huge amount of money preparing the application. So it's an investment that you may get a return on. Resolution gives the mayor the power to sign all the documents and authorizes us as engineer to make them.
What's the roundabout figure on what it would cost us?
Let's go to $400, $312, that's what it's called.
What's the deadline to?
March 31st. We had an idea of what the bridge replacement cost. That we could invest $1,200 in an application, what might you get back for it? Correct me if I'm wrong, it's on the order of $30,000, $40,000 to replace it. So you might spend $1,200 for a chance to earn $40,000 to $50,000 to replace it. That's kind of what you have to do.
Do we still, if in the past, we've applied for these grants and we did not get it, and I think you said on 2 separate occasions we did not receive it, are we still obligated to that $1,200 for filing?
That's the preparation.
Okay, so we're still not, okay, so yeah, that's just in the event that we receive the grant, and then you would take your portion, that portion would come out of.
So you pay us to prepare the application, and I remember, and I think it was on the order of, it wasn't that amount exactly, because we charge hourly for the cost. And in this case, new regulations, we don't know how many hours it's gonna take, more or less than it did before. I think it's a simple.
The site location was good.
This is
You
another,
mentioned places that did not qualify. Do you know of any that did?
I'm not familiar with it.
None in Louisiana?
No,
Or in-
I'm not familiar with any that did. My impression was that there were maybe 100 applications, even statewide, offered, and maybe 10 or 15 were wrong. So it's a lot of competition, a little bit of money. That's why so many work. Not that much money.
Go ahead, Council.
As far as grant, then most of the time you have to apply, you do times before you have even a chance to do it. Who's renting on the floor?
Maintenance of grant rider, maybe just all of the who's the grant rider, that's not going to run it.
Well, I'm looking at that.
You want, for this particular fund,
We failed twice already with the same grant rider, maybe we need some other better.
this is more of an engineering.
Well, I think, but I think that's a fair question, because that was actually where I was going. And I asked this respectfully. Respectfully, yeah, because when the question is asked, what other communities do we know of has actually received the grant? I think we were told there were about 15 recipients.
So I'm guessing,
Right,
you know,
okay.
I'm telling you, I think on the order of 100 applications probably
Sure.
were submitted, and
Right.
maybe 15%
Right.
were awarded.
Right. But again, going to the gentleman's point, I think, is what he's saying is, if we're agreeing to apply again, then I think it's important that we try and find out from some of these communities that actually received the grant, what are they documenting? What specific conditions exist in their communities that may or may not exist in our community? Because if those conditions do exist in our community and we're not aware of it or we're not documenting it, then we're sort of wasting our time applying for it. This is going to be our third time applying, so I'm asking that we be more.
Although this is not for the same location, it's a different location,
Right.
a different situation, that's the only difference.
And a different grant.
Right.
And a different type grant.
The question is just if the grant, maybe we can get help in the writing of the grant so we can.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the comment, in all due respect, but you write dozens and dozens of grants and we're very successful. This is why they didn't succeed. I wouldn't say that it's a lack of preparation or merit. 10% being awarded tells you that 90% don't get it. And I make a good point. Maybe we ought to see, at least if the grant agency isn't going to help us understand the weaknesses and strengths of application, maybe we can go to a successful.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, yeah, that's what I was suggesting.
What was the
Yeah.
difference? I'm not gonna say here that I think there is a difference that we can beat. I don't know.
Right. But we will never know if we don't explore it, yeah.
Chances are it's the severity of what they need the money.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be objective, but nothing is totally objective. There's always a subjective element of relating to the grant application.
On your defense though, the Gidry Street location is very important, very important, no doubt. Because there's none on both sides, and you gotta get on the road to cross the little bridge.
We
Yeah.
voted two schools
Yeah.
in the park.
Right, right.
But if you don't have a plan A, it's like maybe you're gonna get it, what is plan B, when are we gonna get the bridge?
You never know if you try. You need that. You can see things. You can try to get it. I think this is all that.
The bridge has been out a while. People don't get killed in, the city's gonna be in real trouble when
The bridge is not on, the bridge is still on.
it's safely, you know, you get your kid crossing safely, you have
Vehicle
to.
traffic, vehicles go over there every day.
Yeah, but the sidewalk where they walk is not there, no, it's right.
That's right.
I mean, that's where the kids should work, they're not in an automobile, come in there, human being, they should be on the sidewalk, correct?
Right, but the point that I'm getting at, and that was brought up, came a while back, in order to reconstruct a new bridge, you have to be above the DFE. Correct?
Right.
I'm not so sure of that. I don't think that's necessary.
I wondered about that.
There's nothing to be damaged by it being in it.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, this, for reconstructive purposes and stuff like that, it wouldn't have to be, if it's not, it doesn't have to be above the DFE, then I'm not from this. It can be above the DFE.
I don't know why it wouldn't be tied. Again, it's usually mechanical, electrical that has to be above, or something that's a value of finished floor. Because this would survive in flood. It's not used for loans. I don't think there's a reason. And raising it would increase it.
Well, that's the point that is.
What is the cost if you don't raise, and what is the cost if you raise it?
So it would be a lot more expensive to raise.
for the 2-3 days that it's inoperable, if we were saving the kids money, because they're not gonna get out there while it's flooded.
Yeah, but it's too long, we can fix it when you fix the other bridge.
Right.
Yeah, because I thought we had voted to have that repaired at the same
That's what I
time,
thought.
not take, taken
The
out.
location for us, the hard, when the hard water came in, the water goes so much harder than the road.
So, but it's
So,
still
where's
water.
it's moving water. It moves both directions. See, the houses are required, the houses are permanent structure. Houses are required to be above a certain height.
Right, but what you just said about not being sure, how do we know that?
Right.
I'm just gonna say,
I'm
is it,
fairly sure, I'm sure that there's no
Does it matter?
requirement that it be built above the base floor.
What do you think the DOT, proper transfer, when they're big ones, the city? The city has an ordinance that states what it has to do.
We have, yes, we do have.
I would say that it would seem appropriate to me that you build the
That
bridge
says-
back to
that
the
says the
elevation.
height
it was.
that it's
You're
gonna
just
be over
replacing a
flood.
bridge, so I
right,
don't know
and
why
that's
you
the
couldn't replace
thing,
it.
you had to replace it, it was just ripped out
Right.
instead of being repaired or replaced. I don't understand why.
My recommendation would be to replace it, which means to put back the structure.
What it
where
was, but structure,
No, we were replacing the whole bridge or just the sidewalk?
The sidewalk.
I thought it was just the
$40,000
sidewalk.
just for the sidewalk.
The sidewalk spans about a 40-foot structure.
That's what I thought, I never really understood that, why, but I don't think you came back up again. Why can't we just do,
It needs to be done before the kid gets hurt.
that's what I thought.
The
So
estimate
what
we
was
got,
that time, why,
the estimate we got was for a prefabricated bridge that was gonna be brought to the site. and
Right.
That was the estimate.
and I
Would have
think,
been removed.
Wasn't there a problem with the drainage over there too? Like one pipe had tumbled or something?
One sewer line.
Sewer line, yeah, what, has that been fixed?
Well, that's still an observation. And it's still there.
So you can't put the sidewalk, if that hasn't been solved because then you put a problem on top of problem, right?
when we went to school, we gave them the side of like, we said,
More questions?
Yes, sir, thank you.
The next item I have is number 5 in my report. That's the block grant project. We're nearing the end of the construction phase. We have portion payment number 8. It's representing about 93% of the cost that's been approved previously by the council. The project is basically now 100% complete. The reason for 93 is we want them to spend all the money that's working on it. So tonight I would like you to consider approving portion payment number 8, amount $53,981.21 to the contractor construction code. Next month, I will anticipate bringing to you a resolution of acceptance. The budget should be done by. There's really not much more construction.
I do so move that we approve partial payment number 8 to construction.
Will I have a second?
That's that.
More questions or comments?
I have a question. Point of clarification, so that everyone is fully aware, what project are we talking about that we're agreeing to pay this for? Mr. Mayor?
It's the Louisiana Community Development Block Grant fiscal year 2014 to 2015 sewage rehabilitation.
Which includes what, sir?
It's a citywide smoke testing and repair of sewer lines that are taking in storm. This is partial payment estimate number 8, so it's been going on for about 8 months.
This is part of the grant we received for the financial.
Just want to make sure that everyone is aware of what we're talking about.
We estimated the total project cost to be right around $534,000. Construction cost was estimated at $420,230. That was the amount of the grant. Engineer, the city agreed to pay engineering and administration. You're paying Richard Midville and Associates for administration. The reason why you agreed to pay for the engineering administration is to gain points in the rating system, so that you're rated high enough to be able to. That's a very objective grant program, very competitive.
Are we nearing the end
Yes.
of the project?
Yes. That's what I said a minute ago, we bring you a termination package that you're able to accept the project and terminate.
93%.
You're 93% complete by cost, but I'm saying you're 100%. The reason it's 93 is because that's what you spent compared to what you have approved. And it's a unit price contract. You pay for what the contractor does. He's done about 93% of what you approved. You find no more leaks or breaches, so no, you'll be done by this time.
More questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
My report, thank you.
Okay, the next item, municipal department reports. Warrant Officer Leopoldo.
We had a busy month in February. We did 28 bench warrants. We collected $7,532.50. 2 bench warrants were recalled. 12 traffic citations were issued and 21 drug cases was completed. The reason we had 12 traffic citations is because I was busy doing paperwork for the 21 drug cases. We had some, we did a search warrant on Wall Street. We've been receiving several complaints on Wall Street. We were finally able to get enough evidence to get a judge to give us a search warrant. We hit the house. We found them growing marijuana in the house. So we ended up getting some plants and cultivation. Also, we got some synthetic marijuana out of the house and right around $600 in cash. And from what I'm understanding, when the people bonded out of jail, they packed their stuff and left and said, the hell with church won't be coming back.
Good for you.
Which is a good thing.
Good.
We also hit a search warrant on Wilson Street. And another one where we've been having a lot of complaints. In fact, our city attorney came with us because I wanted to make sure that my team is new that's hitting the houses. And I wanted to make sure we're doing everything properly. And I cannot watch everything as we're going in. He came as an observer, made sure everything was legally done exactly the way it was supposed to be done. We ended up getting 3 pounds of marijuana out of the house and a stolen handgun. And we got another $630 out of the house. So we filed for seizure on that. Patrol made a vehicle stop on Ortega Loop for speeding. We ended up getting 4 pounds of crystal methamphetamine out of the car. It had a street value of about $155,000. Okay, got some ecstasy out of the car, and we filed seizure on $11,000, which we should be getting that within probably the next 20 days because they ain't coming back for that money. And we've made quite a few smaller arrests, this and that. We have started a pilot program. Chief and I got together. We started a pilot program where I took one of the patrol officers at night when they're a full shift. He actually works for me, and when they're a full shift, he doesn't answer calls. He works traffic, and he works narcotics. He does traffic, drug stops, and everything he looks for drugs. And it's proven to be really successful. In fact, we're going to be looking at expanding, later on. No additional costs to the town, no nothing. Whenever they're short-handed, He feels right back into his spot of answering calls, and they need more than one officer, more than two officers, he's there to help. Kind of like what I do during the day, he's doing that at night. Fixing to switch my hours tonight also. We are doing really well. We're trying to put couple of new reserves on that can beef up our staff when we execute search warrants on the house. Not saying our reserves now can't handle it, not saying that, but we just need little extra manpower. Because right now, we're only at about 4 to 5 of us that's experienced enough to actually hit a house, to do it safely. That's where we stand, guys. Doing good.
Hey, question.
Yes.
The driver of that car with the 4 pounds of crystal meth going to EMF game.
Yep. If y'all familiar, in Crowley, the killings that they're having back and forth for a while, kind of subsided now, but they were killing each other back and forth. That was two rival gangs that were shooting at each other, killing each other back and forth. This guy right here is the head of one of them.
What does EMF stand for?
Emil Family Mafia.
They're all bad people in Rancho.
The what?
Mexican.
Emil Family Mafia. No, they're not Mexican.
But that name.
Emil was the guy's name.
100% Mexican with that name.
But yeah, he's in charge of that gang right there. He's still on the run.
You're still on the job.
Yes, but I'm not chasing him because we've had the federal marshals come, we've had DEA come, the sheriff's office come knocking at our door. Everybody wants to pick up this case from us, or they want to run with this case. Because in the end, when they're gonna finish rounding up that whole group, no one has ever been able to get. This guy has been stopped quite a few times. No one has ever been able so far to pin him down to anything that'll give him any significant amount of jail time. So they're beating down our door on this case. And what's going to happen with this case is, since we're the originating agency, they're going to take this one case and it'll pan out into a big old thing. And when it's done, we're going to get proceeds of that also. So.
Well, Mr. Thibodeau, personally speaking, I want to publicly commend you on the successes that you've been having in our community.
Not just me. Police officers in the town are stepping up and really helping.
Well, then, you know what? I retract that statement. Because I need to say it correctly. No, seriously, and I appreciate you making me pay attention to the point that you all are a team. And so if one is out there, everyone is represented. So to yourself and the entire police department, good job, guys. We appreciate you all.
Commend the neighborhood too, the residents, for keep us informed whenever they have something going on.
And Chief, thank you, sir, for the Mardi Gras report. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
It's like I tell everybody, we can't catch everybody, but if we make it too hot here and they move out of town, guess what? Our job is solved.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Dale. Okay, our next item is the request for acceptance of Reserve Officer Alexis Fredericks by Chief Venable.
Right, as we're talking, we're trying to get as much help as we can, and I think somewhere back there, Mr. Fredericks? I think he'd be a good asset to our department. He has experience and he worked for Sunset, and maybe you can say something about yourself.
You definitely came dressed for the occasion.
He'd be ruffled up with it.
You always gotta be ready.
But I think he'd be a good benefit to our department with the experience he has. Anyone has any questions for him?
No, I was looking at his application and he looks like he has the right qualifications, so.
Mr. Frederick, I'm sorry, Councilman, I apologize, I interrupted you. Sorry about that.
What I was really pleased by was that he He is a TASER certified. All right, not many, reserve officers, we get all our reserves to do that. Not only for their safety, but safety of the public.
He's not like our other officers that can't hold a gun, right? He can hold a gun, right?
You know,
You laugh, but it was here before.
Mr. Alexis, would you like to tell us something?
Yes, first and foremost, my name is Racine Fredericks. I prefer you to call me Alexis because some people mess up my first name. I was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. I have a very strong accent, so certain things I'm saying, I'll try to slow it down for you. I'm 23 years old, I'll be 24 in August 10th. I have 18 sisters and 7 brothers.
That's right, that's right.
It's an island,
It's an item.
Yeah, it's an island.
Yeah, it's part of it.
My dad is a retired correction officer. He did 30 years. His name is Atmore Fredericks. My mom, her name is Deidre Granville. She works security. I've lost 4 kids within the past, I'll say, 2 years. I left the islands when I was 17 years old. I moved to Tampa, Florida. Stayed in Tampa, Florida for a year. I went off to Homeland Security School in Homestead, Miami. After I left Homestead, Miami, I started off doing security work in Tampa, Florida. Became a reserve police officer over there. Started doing bodyguard work. Started doing a little bit of undercover work. I'm also SWAT certified. I moved here September of 2016 to live with my fiance. She's also a cop here in Louisiana. I'm currently working right now at Evangeline Downs alongside with state police doing surveillance. The reason why I want to become, sorry, I'm nervous. The reason why I would like to become a cop over here is because I would love to be the face of Church Point, meaning I was always taught to, do the right thing when no one is looking. And growing up, I've always stick to that. And I get along well with everyone. I was told by a state police officer, we never judge someone by their color, judge them by what they do. And I have a great attitude. I get along with everybody, whether you white, black, yellow, pink. It's just the way you conduct yourself gets you a long way. And I've had several friends. I've lost several friends due to police shootings and all that stuff by just giving them my opinion. And one friend came up to me and said, "What do you think about the police shooting?" I said, "Well, if you're justified, whether you're right or wrong, that's what it's gonna be." And I've lost friends because I gave them my opinion as to what I thought of the situation or whatever. If you're right, you're right. I'll stand by you 100%. If you're wrong, I can't stand behind you. And I would just start to do the right thing and protect myself. And I'm a very observant guy. I see everything, I hear everything. I can be a mile away and I can hear what you're saying. I can read your lips, all of that stuff. So I have a lot of experience under my belt. I'm willing to learn more. I don't step on anyone's toe or anything. I don't come out and say, "Well, I know this, I know that." I let the person teach me, you understand? Show me what they can bring to the table and what they can teach me so I can learn and not get myself hurt out there. So, you know, if I do get hired with Church Point Police Department, I'm looking forward to assist everyone in this room and do the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
Well said, well said. Well done.
How could I have reserved, but it's part-time, really, I wanted to put it on. That's part-time.
I'm over here shaking. It's also cold in the building. I haven't eaten for the last 4 hours. So I just started working out, going to the gym and stuff like that, so I'm trying to be fast, run fast.
Mr. Fredericks, I have a
Yes,
quick
sir.
question. What is, I just saw it here. Okay, help me understand, what is bomb threat training by phone?
Bomb threat training, good question. Bomb threat training, my phone is,
And this is a trick question to put you on the spot. I'm curious,
Oh, no,
how do you
no,
learn
no.
bomb threat training over the phone?
Say don't do that.
meaning if someone decides to call a telephone in here right now and say, I'm gonna blow up the building. First of all, I wanna know your name, because guess what, that person might want some attention. You understand? Attention, like,
Okay.
you know, some
Okay.
people do stuff to get attention. I'm gonna ask them their name, I'm gonna try to keep them on the phone as long as possible. Contact,
Trace,
excuse me?
trace the call.
Yes, sir, trace a call. While I'm talking to them, send law enforcement to their location, wherever they at. You know, just keep them busy, try to keep them busy so I can get to know them and ask them questions. You know, just to kind of distract them, so, you know, listen. Yes, sir. Also, I'm very good at sniffing drugs, even if I don't see it. I'm good with sniffing explosive detection and stuff. I was trained to do that.
Really?
Yes, sir. Like all the machines that I work with at the casino, I can tell if something's wrong with it. Like, I brought it to their attention yesterday. I'm working there going a month and a half now. I told them, I said, listen, the only machine where it smells like explosive. I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy. So I brought one of the managers over there and said, can you smell this machine? She said, no. I said, every time I pass by, I asked her, other employees, don't you smell like bomb? You know what I'm saying? So I brought it to her attention. They finally opened the machine, and the machine wires were burning slowly to the point where it could explode. And you know, they happy to thank me for that.
So you're smelling
I
the
smell,
faint
I
scent
smell,
of
I
smoke.
smell. No matter if it's a mile away, I smell stuff. You know, I smell stuff in my sleep. You know, I eat police, I breathe police, I walk police.
Okay, Mr. Frederick. We're impressed, sir.
I'm also good at reading minds and stuff like that.
We do need a city picture, because we have a city there.
I'm sorry?
You have to send and take the pictures, we have a city there.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
You
gonna
might
be.
rewrite that.
No, I just want to go. You have to take the.
So this, any decision we make tonight will be dependent on him passing the site.
I'm gonna pass it.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept Mr. Alex Kravitz, part-time Commissioners appoint police officers.
I second that motion. And again, this is dependent on him passing the site eval.
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck.
Okay. Let's see. Now we'll go down to legal, introduction of ordinance, resolution reports, requests. Adopt the resolution for safe routes to public places and authorize Maynard Engineering to submit an application.
Got a question. I have a question. Okay, this would be to do the Gibbs Street project if we would get this, this is what we were,
This is the resolution to allow him to apply for the grant in general, get from there, was it an application to go in and discuss the law?
I'm sorry.
resolution. That's what you have to say.
The sidewalk, the bridge.
Well, once again, this, Tim, this resolution is for you to go ahead and apply for the grant, correct?
Right, to make the application by March 3rd.
Why more?
And you're gonna use the Gidry Street project as an example of need, right?
So, right. We'll include that.
That's
Yeah.
what I want to understand.
But the thing is, this is also pertains to accidents and stuff like that, what I did to the chief also. That is also pertinent to, like what I was telling you
Right.
earlier,
Documentation.
documentation. Because you have reported also accidents and stuff in your district also. Joy has one in his district, will visit the chief, because that's all pertaining to the grant also.
I guess, yeah, I got that. So my question, and my reason in asking all of this is because if we do not get this, what step do we take next to fix the sidewalk on the street? I thought,
In the budget,
Come in the budget.
the
And
general
then-
fund to allocate property through.
And right now, also know this, that I am, this week here, we are seeking transfer, also for it.
well, I thought we had already voted to
That
have
was
a.
last year's, that was last
We
year's
had,
budget.
we didn't do it.
That was last year's
Right.
budget. And the reason why it wasn't done was because of the sewer project that was going on.
So
only lasts a year?
Yeah, well, we're about done with the sewer project, that's what he's saying.
Is that part of that sewer problem he was fixing? So by April, we can start on the bridge, is what you're saying, if he's correct in the final.
Ding, 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 you've been surprised, that's what.
Thank you.
We're
Been waiting for
We're doing it, because the bridge and the sidewalk over is always done.
April,
We
Jim.
got more problems in this.
It will start in April.
Now, second that motion.
Heard that too.
Yeah, George second.
Any more questions or comments?
Mayor, we will add to the resolution wording for the Gidry Street Bridge and sidewalk project. That would be an item you want to approve and support the following for the 2017 Safe Route to Public Places Program for the Gidry Street sidewalk bridge.
No,
To put in
correct me if I'm
consideration.
wrong, no, I don't think that's correct, because if you're gonna use the data and the accidents, and I'm just kind of throwing this out there, from several districts, then I don't think your documentation needs to reflect it being only one particular area. Because I had an accident in my district, Councilwoman had an accident in her district, so what I want to avoid is this idea of writing grants based on data from other districts that allows the town to get these grants, and then the districts that's been most affected, because that's where we got the data from, they don't receive the benefits of the grant.
But I
That's what I'm
told you
attempting to
at
prevent.
the outset, I said that they want specifics.
But I keep hearing the Gidry Street. Correct me if
Well,
I'm
that
wrong,
would
I
be in a
keep hearing.
specific location where the grant money is gonna be needed to fix the bridge for the kids walking to school.
Okay,
All right.
well then, well, I understand that, but my question again is, then if we're gonna use data from my district and subsequently from Joy's district, shouldn't those two districts also be included in the grant?
I don't plan on
Don't
using
need to
data
use
for
data for
anything else.
Okay, that's what I thought I'm sorry, that's what I thought I heard.
He's just saying
Don't
that that
really
would be
use that.
something new to writing the grant, correct? If
Well,
you
I'm
had
hearing the
some-
council, I may be wrong, want this application to be for the Guidry Street project. So I'm just suggesting that you write that into this resolution. And I think if you don't, you're moving away from the intent of, the new intent of the program is to have a specific accident problem or potential accident problem. And we know
Potential
that's
is
happening at the
Right.
Guidry Street
Yeah.
bridge.
Right, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but I think it's important that we all understand that although we're focusing on getting grants for the Guidry Street project, certainly it's needed there, right? But there are probably several throughout all our districts where we have, what are we calling, kind of like really unsafe areas for children and seniors. That's my concern, that we get this grant money and then we have other districts that are gonna go without.
There's other things
the
too, like
benefits
the
of-
top, we were discussing the sidewalk issue, thing of repairing, which would be in different districts also. And that's where it would come,
They're not.
I'm gonna say for us,
The
for our
Guidry
district.
project is not gonna use the whole grant. In other words, they're still gonna have some money left over from that project.
But he said, yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
No,
We
it's
don't
not,
know
if
that.
it's gonna do
We don't know
the
that.
Guidry Street
We don't
grant.
know.
If you want to have a safe route to public places grant for another location, then you need to name that tonight.
That's my point, Mr. Nader.
Well, I
That's
think,
exactly my point. I said Nader, I apologize. That's my point.
well, as you suggested earlier, a safe route to schools is,
We need to identify all the schools in our community and ensure that whatever grant money the town receives, all schools, be it Church Point High School, our Mother of Peace right here, the Head Start, Church Point Middle School, all schools in our community are receiving some benefits of this grant to ensure that whatever kids are attending those schools, they are also safe because of the grant.
absolutely.
That's the old
That's the whole grant.
regulation.
that's the old grant.
But it's a very general application.
So what are we doing,
of
what's the new grant? What do we have to do with the new grant?
Specific problems, which
But
we
it was stated-
understand you don't really have a specific problem of the nature that the program has indicated they need to know, which is a history of accidents. We're going a step
Once
further
again,
and
it's
saying
issue
we
of
don't necessarily have a
accidents.
history of accidents and get, but we think that situation warrants a very close look by this program. That's what we're saying.
But wasn't it to go
We've
from point A
applied
to
twice
point B?
before in a general sense for other schools and weren't successful.
Because according to you, it does
But Ted, you're also gonna have a public meeting, I mean,
specify.
that'll have a meeting here
the
prior
public
to the date too, correct?
You can if you think that's a good way to do it.
Not to say a public meeting, but I mean, just in general, advertise.
Applications are due by the 31st, so we have to call a special meeting or have that public.
Wasn't it stated that you have a route on this, like point A to point B on that? Isn't that what you said in the beginning of the conversation?
Right,
That
it's
what
not
you
gonna
have a
be used for
specific point-
repairs.
Well, that was, SLU was asking, could you use it for repairs? And I said, if you include repairs in a project that started at a specific point and ended at a specific point, but you can't use the money just to repair
Well,
unsafe
if you can
sidewalks.
start there and end up over there, you can't do that?
Start where and end up.
Like start at Guidry Street and end up on the other side by the other school, it's from schools to schools fixing the repair, you can't do that like a route?
I think that would be more expensive than you want to try to get funding for. If that's your project and there's only a little bit of money and a lot of competition, you're not gonna get that project because it's too big.
So if we're submitting the application utilizing the Guidry Street project, right? Is that correct? Am I correct?
If
Is
that's
that
what
what
we
we're
want,
doing?
if
Is
that's
that
what,
Okay.
Council's
Well, won't that limit the amount of money that we could possibly receive versus if we include that area as well as any other areas that might be unsafe?
question. I think that question brings this in answer that maybe will bring us around, and that is, your application will be stronger if you show a benefit for the least amount of money. And I believe that's what we have in Guidry Street Bridge is, that's a dangerous situation. think we'll get the chief or the mayor to go to the school and get some testimony that how many kids walk there back and forth in the morning and in the afternoon? How many near misses are they aware of? What are the parents saying about that being safe or unsafe? Look at that benefit and look at the relatively small expense to fix it.
I agree, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, there's definitely a need there, absolutely, no doubt about it. We need to do something about that area. But I've also personally witnessed folks rushing and speeding through here where there are young kids right here in front of our Mother of Peace school. So that for me is a sort of like a sensitive area. And then there are other areas where near Church Point Middle School, you know, there's been kids put at risk there as well.
I think those are each a separate application, which you.
Okay, so that would do
Like
it.
you
They
said,
don't
it's not
want
a
to,
big
they don't want
enough
to
purse
apply
to do
all
all
over
three.
town and have the
Understood.
benefit to cost comparison different in each place, and you lose all
All
possibilities because you have some weak and some strong. You probably want to name the locations tonight.
According to the resolution, there's not a dollar amount, so I mean, how much, I mean, I'm sure you got.
If you authorize it, we'll estimate that, and we'll write up the best we can to describe the benefit derived from that grant money. That agency wants to know that its money is being spent.
We can get money from other areas to repair sidewalks in different areas going in a safe path to schools, but this being to replace the bridge that's no longer there.
My recommendation is that that's as close as I think Church Point can come to a documented accident history in a location that they're asking for. Grant agency wants you to show police reports, accident reports from the schools, something that shows that you're mitigating a problem that's chronic already, which I don't think you even have on the Gideon Street project, but I think it has a unique feel to it.
Just looking at it, it's scary.
Well, yeah, it is scary.
You know, like when you walk in the road, or something, I mean, that's
That location invites a lot of people to get to that point, and the only way to get further is to go to a very narrow street.
Right.
And a very narrow motor car bridge.
It's also a walkway to a public place.
Right.
Or
And
coming
for the
back
high
and forth to
school-
OMP.
Right. In the high school, they have to, at a certain age, a child is so close to a school, they cannot ride the bus, they have to walk.
Within a mile.
What I would
And it depends
suggest,
on age, and there's certain ages, it changes.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anybody disagree that Gidry is a very important project. I would suggest that you adopt this resolution tonight for the Gidry Street project, and if you have any other project that comes up subsequent to tonight's meeting, you have a special meeting and pass a resolution. But I wouldn't want to avoid applying for Gidry if you want to get that money for Gidry, because you have other places that you're not.
I agree.
All right. We had a motion and a second. Vote on it. Yes, motion and a second. And a second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay.
Mayor, I think there's a question.
Question, where is that bridge located at?
On Gidry Street,
I'm not
right off of
familiar.
Abbey.
Where the East Abbey Shell Station is, whenever you're coming in from like the Lewisburg or
Highway
Christmas area.
178.
I came off of 357.
Yes, on 357.
Oh, it's,
Coming in from Opelousas before
Yes.
you get to Sutton's.
okay.
On the
That was the gas station. It's closed
And then
down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then there's
Self-service.
Sun Island.
Mhm.
It's right
In
on the side of
between.
the gas station.
It's in between.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Anybody else? Okay. Next item. Liquor license exemption for OMP extravaganza. spring extravaganza to be held April 22nd, 2017 at the First Point Community Center. Okay? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to, grant a, simple license to join people that's bringing family.
We've had numerous positive calls and messages, and of course, from people that were on the street, watching the parade, they really enjoyed it. We even received comments, this was the best one in a long time. A lot less alcohol involved. Everything basically ran pretty good, or real, what I should say is real good, because we just had a few incidents, not very many. And of course, a few got blown up on TV, one, and it made it look like we had many things wrong with it. That was not. Sheriff K.P. Gibson and his staff were brought in, and he did an outstanding job going down the street. In fact, one person told me they thought it was the parade of the sheriff's department. There was so many in town. I'd like to also thank Mr. Albert Venable and his some of his officers for doing a good job, and that also helped. Another thank goes out to the Saddle Train for their organization. I thought their organization of the parade and the run was really good. Thanks to Mr. Dale Thibodeau for spearheading the officers on the run, and everything went pretty good on the run, from what I understand. Last but not least is thanks to the street department. Now, I don't know how many people came in and saw after the parade. There was a lot less trash. The open container law, SLU, along with myself, we worked with the street department. I took one side of the road and I found 5 beer cans. And we estimate the crowd, I don't know, Mr. Albert, 25 to 35,000. People said it was
no less than last year.
right.
If anyone wants to see that, just around, let's be right here.
That was a shot of the of Main Street, and
Before Mardi Gras. Before
the floats came in.
At 11 o'clock in the morning. That was prior to the parade.
For the parade.
Also, I mean, thanks to our street department, the barricades you saw, we went to Karen Crow, picked up barricades, roughly 190 barricades. They set them out, and they also picked them up and returned them. Okay? They also picked up trash after. They started to work at 8 o'clock at night, and Mr. Como and I, like I said, we joined them, and there was a lot less trash, and people kind of followed a little bit, putting out trash bags, and we were able to pick up trash bags instead of having to pick up a lot of, you know, beads and stuff, which we did.
That was pretty
That
nice.
was cool,
Yeah.
I like that, I saw that quite a few places.
Right. And Tony did a real good job.
That was mentioned somewhere for people who use like trash bags,
Well, it was
right?
definitely told at the meeting at the Saddle Track that
That
I had
helped.
registration to
Whoever
the
sent out that
parade. And
message, I
you
heard
said
that
it
was done
too.
when you
And
were
you said it.
Last year had brought that up, but it kind of keeps going.
That helped.
And concerning the people on the float, let me thank the people on the float also. They did a real good job as far as, you know, not getting intoxicated on the float. Very much. But it was great. It was really, you know, I had a couple that stood by me. I was right here by City Hall, and I had a couple stood by me from Lafayette, an older couple. And they told me, they said, they're not as drunk as they were in the past. And I was like, okay. But it was true. These people, you know, we have to say good things, good positive things about it. And of course, the fire department, bless their hearts, They were called out to a fire, house burnt down unfortunately. But they were prepared, ready to go, they had their plan in place, so everything went really well with the fire department. Thanks to them and of course the responders, first
Heart goes
responders.
out to that man that lost his house.
Right.
What a deal, bro. Unbelievable.
Right.
2 small children.
Unbelievable. When I saw that, my heart just, man, when we were standing there and his body got up and looking at the smoldering deal, it just took my heart.
Right. Okay. Mr. Albert, you want your report?
I just passed it around to check it out. It was, we had a few arrests, but it wasn't bad. Y'all want to hear?
Yeah, good.
While Mr. Albert's looking for his report, I had a chance to go out to Mr. Bob Thibodeau along with some of the council members. I think the majority of the council members went out. And we went to see the prize world champion Brahma cow that is located right here in Church Point. Mr. Troy Thibodeau owns that, and there was some people from Thailand that came in to see the herd. And looking at possibly purchasing some or many of them. So that was another good thing that we had. And my last thing is we'll continue to work on sewer projects. Continue looking at the removal of the old city barn. We're getting ready for our summer baseball and softball. And of course, we get ready to put into effect our nuisance and our dilapidated building ordinances. With all that said and done, Mr. Albert, it's yours.
Okay, there was just pretty broad, one speeding ticket, one suspended driver's license, one possession scheduled 4 drugs, one possession scheduled 2 drugs, one possession of marijuana, 2 charges of disobeying an officer, 1 driving under influence, 4th offense DWI, improper lane usage, 1 disturbing the peace by intoxication, 4 open container, 4 disturbing the peace, 2 resisting arrest, and that was about the extent of the day, which last year we had a lot of excitement last year, and I want to thank all the departments, our department that was here to help us. We had rain, we had different departments, Lake Arthur, we had Crowley PD, we had Youngsville PD, and all these guys, and a lot of people said that a lot of officers, and I'm hoping that the people done, behave themselves for the respect of our community. Law enforcement's good, but I'm thinking more positive than the people just want to bring back the old time Mardi Gras where it was. And I hate to believe it's because we had all these policemen that they behaved, I like to give credit to our community saying, hey,
Police had a lot to do with it.
I'm hoping that it's someone that respect our community that they lead the law. And in fact, we had been having meetings with different departments for a while, on the enforcement of it. And it was planned that it'd all come in at one time in town to show up. So it was, we had kind of put it together. But anyway, I want to thank you. So far, the only thing I've been having is complaints. One thing, in the past, we've been getting cans of beer thrown at us, and I was hoping one would have threw me a Yeti cup, but I never. I could have used a lid for a Yeti cup. But anyway, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, comments from, your comment, Mr. Chief. District 1, Mr. Malbrough.
Again, thanks, Chief, for your report, and of course, we're happy to hear that it was safer. And certainly, I hope that the officers, that somehow and in some way, the decisions and the things we enacted for this Mardi Gras did actually make your jobs just that much more safer, where you felt more empowered to be out there and keeping the community safe. So I hope that we all served you all well. Thank you.
Basically, and y'all covered it pretty much all. I mean, everybody working together, coming together for the same reasons is definitely what made the difference. Chief, the whole drinking thing, I'm definitely, there was definitely a big difference in the crowd. While I know that it still went on, still there's things that didn't need to be done. And again, Yeti must have really, really done well with their profits from that. I didn't see a 15-year-old teenager with a gallon of whiskey handing it to another 15-year-old or 13-year-old, and that was a big plus for me. The people were there. There was still just as many people. There were more people in the country than in the past, but the people were still there downtown, but a lot more respect, exactly what the chief was saying, to the floats. And I think I definitely, with everybody coming together and working together, I think it was a very successful time. And I appreciate everybody's help to it.
Also to comment, I want to thank the South Tramp for us all working together. You know, it wasn't just a one-sided deal. The ideas that I had, you know, I've got with the South Tramp, and we all worked together to accomplish what. Having
no vehicles on Main Street was probably the most outstanding thing that was done.
Well, they covered pretty much everything. I want to say thank you to you all, of course. I think of some of the people that played a big part in stopping children from breaking their parents. Hats off to the parents and grandparents in this area. I think it was a wake-up call. And going back to the grandma thing, I was one of the guys who went to Bob Thibodeau, and it was something to see and to know how humbling it is to know that a world champion is right here in Church Point. Stop and think about all the ranches in the world in Texas. A world champion right here. I can't tell you what that cow is worth, but it's worth a lot of money.
All the time.
And these guys from Thailand came in, and they weren't a group. They were owners of ranches in Thailand. They didn't really know each other until they came here to see this cow. They came to buy the offspring. And there was about 15 of them tied up on this fence. And the little girls, Troy and Lisa's daughters, named every one of them. Now they all had numbers on their ears, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8. But they knew them by name. That was Susie, and that was Pixie, and that was, it's humbling. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you folks for showing up, and I'll see y'all again in May. I won't be able to make the April meeting, but I'll be here back over here in my seat in May. Thank y'all.
Okay, Mr. Bobo?
Yeah, thank everybody for coming. I want to thank everyone that was involved in the Mardi Gras. Everybody did a fantastic job. Like Gary was saying about the brand, we met this guy from California who was a broker, and he shipped these cows all over the world. I was impressed. The shipping was great. I couldn't believe it. And as far as the house bar on Michelle Street, I'd really like to give our thanks because we had, believe it or not, we had 2 guys, professional firefighters from Lafayette and one from the unit that was at Mardi Gras, and they seen the fire, they came there, and believe it or not, they put gear on, and they fought the fire right along with it, which was great. I really want to thank them, for coming out and giving us a hand, and thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank y'all.
Okay, public comments. Please hold your comments for 2 minutes. If it's a discussion, please place it on next month's agenda, which will be April 3rd. First, Ryan Specky-Mesh.
Hello, everybody. I got one question that's going to come up again, and I need an answer to it. I'm Spanky from Spanky Smalley. I've had my business in here since 2010. I grew it to a pretty good status. On the big dog side, I'm in the top 10 of the nation, and I go all the way from Lake Charles to north of Baton Rouge to Lake Charles, I mean, all over the state. And that brings tax money over here. And I have a question for the mayor that bought a zero-turn lawnmower from a dealership that is not in Church Point, that's not in Acadia Parish, and I wasn't even given a chance at it. I'm usually a happy fella, very nice to everybody. I think I treat Church Point pretty well. I try at least. But this is a serious thing. You know, I feel that I deserve a chance. I think I could have been cheaper because my company offers 30%, and I probably wouldn't have accepted any money because it's for my town. I give a lot to this town, and I would like to know why I wasn't given that chance.
Yeah, we went with I've talked to other mayors around, and with the amount of grass that we have to cut, which is basically 20 acres, they informed me, I asked them what kind of mower they were using, and they said they were basically a loader.
Well, let me stop you there, because I sell Skag that has a diesel with a Kubota engine on it.
Okay.
Nobody ever told me.
Okay, and we also went under the state contract.
And I also have that.
Okay. So then that's basically what it was.
So you didn't even give me a shot. And I offer both of them. Well, I really do appreciate you supporting me like I support this town.
Where does the town buy their hardware? At Southern Pro expense?
Both places.
They do both. I'm not here for that.
I'm just asking a question.
I mean, I'm not here, I'm just asking a question. And I mean, I was told, and I was denied. So, I mean, like I said, I would appreciate in the future if you would afford me that opportunity, or even to talk to me about it, because we do have a 30% discount, and I would have probably cut it even deeper than that. We do sell diesel, and they are Kubota. So, I'm really disappointed, but life goes on. It's no big deal. We're gonna live on another day. So I just wanted to ask you about that. Thank you.
Okay?
And I do appreciate y'all business in other areas. I mean, I know y'all do some business with me. I just wanted to ask about that. You know, I'm sorry if I ruined y'all night. Thank y'all.
I have a comment. Before Mardi Gras, there was a bashing of the mayor because he had passed the ordinance not to have cars. Whoever was bashing him should have came to the meeting. I didn't hear the mayor vote on that ordinance. I thought the council voted. Again, I want to ask how many underage drinkers they had. They could have caught 50 to 100 from Turling's Capital. How many were caught underage drinkers?
I don't think they're underage, right?
They could have caught 50 to 100 from Turling's. Again, I have a question for Gene.
Yes, sir.
You blocked off your parking lot and the sidewalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you take responsibility for the sidewalk if somebody would have got hurt?
What do you mean when you say, did I take responsibility?
Well,
for
I
the
mean, you
sidewalk?
blocked it off as your business and your property.
Right, I did. But help me
You did.
understand, when you asked the question, did I take responsibility
Well,
if someone
okay,
would
if somebody would have hurt themselves on the sidewalk,
while walking on the sidewalk?
yes.
Well,
You
the
had it
sidewalk-
blocked off.
With-
So it was your property at that point.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll answer that in two ways. If someone, in their attempt to cross over a blocked area on my business property, had they got injured, then I would have done what a businessman do, and I would have taken responsibility for the injury. By the same token, that sidewalk is public,
That's
right?
right.
So although, and let's be clear, on what the block was, all right? It wasn't a barricade.
No, it was a tape.
It was a tape, yeah. Clearly,
That's
a
right.
youth could walk under the tape, or a adult
That's
could
right.
walk,
But
yeah.
you
So,
prevented somebody from parking on the shoulder of the street, which is town property, which Dr. Guillory let people park on his parking lot. He did not tape off the sidewalk.
I don't know what Dr. Guillory's
I know-
options
I know-
are
I
when,
know
well,
perfectly.
well, I'm about to ask you a question. I don't know what Dr. Guillory's options are when he blocks off his business, but I can tell you the problem I've had over the last 3-4 years since I've been in business there, particularly with the Mardi Gras crowd, okay? Even when I've put the tape blocking off my personal business property, people still choose to park not on the sidewalk, which they shouldn't even be parking, but they park not only on the sidewalk, but on my grass. As a businessman, I take personal offense to that, and I've asked people not to do that.
Okay.
But by the same token, sir, if you ask the church members, you know, the church that's right next door, ask them about parking, because Gene Malbrough allows them to park in and everywhere they want to, every Sunday, Wednesday, and any other time there's a church
But I can
gathering.
understand parking on your grass. You could have put the pickets and the tape on the other side of the sidewalk.
So where the tape was, sir, did that actually prevent anyone from walking on the sidewalk? Because the sidewalk was still clearly visible,
Yeah,
although it was
visible,
just
sure.
yellow, yeah, yellow tape. It
And
was
they
just,
still walked on it.
Yeah, I guess
And
they
they
did.
still
yeah.
parked on the side where the tape was.
Well,
So tell all the truth, don't say some of it.
well, I passed. I'm not gonna keep
Okay,
12
then,
hours
what's the
surveillance
point?
on a tape.
But was Gene the only one that blocked off the sidewalks?
no,
No.
I think every business owner
But
blocked
if
blocked
the
it.
Sidewalk should not be blocked.
That's the point.
But when,
That's
but
my
hold on,
point.
wait, okay, okay. When we're saying, listen, when we're saying blocking off a sidewalk,
Roping off.
okay, it was, first of all, no, it wasn't rope. Let's
It
be
was
clear, it was tape, right?
That's right.
Thin, yellow-colored tape, right? It wasn't really obstructing the view of the sidewalk. So clearly, here's my point. There were people that were in the area, and they saw the tape, and they clearly could see the sidewalk. So they utilized the sidewalk. I didn't get any complaints about it. So I'm not exactly sure when you're saying, so what's your suggestion that I do next year?
Block.
When blocking off my
Okay.
personal business property?
That's right.
My
Don't
question,
block
sir,
off
is what do you,
sidewalk.
my
Put it on
question,
the other
sir.
side of the sidewalk.
Here's what I will do, here's what I will do, okay, here's what I will do.
Really, you don't have to do anything.
No, no, sir, no, sir.
But you brought it up for a problem.
Everybody else
It's a
says
problem.
Listen, I consider myself a respectful businessman in our community, which by the way is why I'm sitting here and I feel so sensitive about Spanky here coming up there and talking to us about his concern. Again, I'm a responsible business owner, but I'm open to whatever suggestion you think I should do as it relates to blocking off my own personal business property. Now, with respect to the sidewalk, I get that. Any other suggestion you think I should do for my own business property?
It's just a
Is the sidewalk?
Clearly
Okay.
said no
I will,
sidewalk should be
my commitment to you, sir, is I will seriously take that into consideration for next year.
You can put barricades. I was just bringing up a point.
I appreciate that.
You know.
I appreciate that.
But he wasn't
I
the only
appreciate
one.
that.
It's not the only one,
answer
but
Spank, to answer Spank, was you in business 4 years ago, Spank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I went back in our records and I asked the street department prior to the purchase. That mower was purchased 4 years ago and was purchased in Opelousas, the machine they have now. Okay, and when going back in the records, they had purchased it from John Deere. Okay, was you offered that price?
No, and I didn't know about it, but they did buy
That-
3 mowers with me.
Okay, but
Um,
it could have
and
been,
they,
that particular mower was purchased with John Deere.
I
And
don't
asked
think
about your
so.
previous- No, it was.
Sure,
It's a
because
John-
I worked on
did
it.
you sold John Deere product?
No, but
Okay,
I
well, that's
worked
a
on
John
that
Deere-
mower
that's a John
past
Deere
4
mower.
years
I
ago.
don't, it matters not if you work on it, did you say?
I don't know why you're in this, because I asked the mayor a question.
I'm trying to answer your question.
And I really don't understand why you're getting in the middle of it. I
I'm
thought
not
it was
trying- I'm
over
trying
with, but stop, clerk.
No,
Clerk,
this is
I'm
why.
talking to the
No,
mayor. I'm
I'm
talking to the
I'm
mayor.
answering your question.
I'm talking to the mayor.
No, I'm
Mayor.
answering your question.
It was
So I
over.
still have the floor.
Have
It
a
was
seat.
over with.
Have a seat, and
And
let me finish
you'll
it.
get your-
Let me finish. I don't know why you're getting upset. The point is this.
Stop, pause.
No, Gene, I still have the floor.
No, 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 but no,
I'm
no,
still
no, a
answering the
constituent
question.
of our community who's also,
Gene, I'd like to finish my point, please.
he had the floor.
No, I had
No,
the floor
he had-
before he did, so let me finish, please. I asked him specifics. 4 years ago, I went back in the record, because Tony told me the machine was purchased at, John Deere. He did not sell John Deere 4 years ago. Went back in the record, the former administration purchased the machine at John Deere. So we thought, I asked him what would he want to buy again. And with the mayor, they said they'd rather not purchase another John Deere through John Deere again. Therefore, Kubota, they felt was a better product. In respect for what they wished for, we went on state contract with Kubota.
Okay, now, hold on, excuse me 1 minute, Todd.
Yes.
There's discrepancy right here, because the mayor just said he spoke to other mayors
Thank you. Thank you.
about.
In
I was about to say.
In agreement, but he didn't talk to the city,
He didn't,
city people at all.
exactly.
I did talk to, I did also talk.
Yes, this is a combination of speaking.
You know, the
with
thing
them.
is,
Here's my thought,
this
here's
is
my
this-
thought. May I interject real quickly,
Well,
1
I'll be
second?
finishing
I'm about
1
to
minute, man.
pop.
But
Go ahead, go right ahead.
Gene.
Well,
Okay?
first of all, Todd, I think, Mayor, next time when there's a taxpaying citizen and a
Right.
business owner in our community, you give him the due respect because he had justifiable reasons to have a concern. You don't shush him for your clerk. You ask your clerk to
But
be
the clerk was
respectful of the
answering the-
constituent.
but the clerk was
So
answering the
that's
question,
my
I
first
got
point.
interrupted.
That's my first point. The other point is, the other point is, we should never, ever minimize the impact that our business community plays in this town. They not only pay high taxes, but when money is spent in, the money comes back to the business community. I'm a business owner, and I know the taxes I pay, and I know when I spend my money, it stays right, it goes right back into the community. And I know that speaks for Spanky as well. The only concern he had, he asked, why was I not considered, not given, considered?
Correct.
I think that's fair.
And it is
He
fair.
should have been, Spanky or anyone else that have equipments like you have, his phone should have been ringing. We should have been picking up the phone and saying, Spanky, this is what we're gonna need. You wanna bid for it? Or you wanna come to the table and talk about what you can offer? And then with all these stipulations, it didn't have this or whatever, then you tell him that. But you do it in a manner that respects this man as a business owner in our community. I'm done with that.
Okay. And the only thing I asked him was previously, was it purchased with him?
Well,
Does
he had a
none-
justifiable
one
reason. He
question
was
for
talking
you.
to the mayor, and he had a
Did y'all-
justifiable
did
point,
we
so it shouldn't have gone there.
receive- Okay, with that amount of money we spent, did we get some bids on that?
No.
Why not?
Because it was a state contract. And it's not required.
It's not required through
No, it's
state
not.
contract.
No, it's not.
It's not required for the city council to approve it,
No. It's administrative.
even for $13,000?
No, it's not. You can check it on.
Well, I offer state contracts, and I do them all the time, much more than Church Point does, and they do require 3 bids, because I've done it many times.
Are you
with other
familiar with
cities.
public bid law?
Yes, I am.
I have
But-
a copy if you're welcome to read it.
I never asked you a question. I asked the mayor something, and I respected him, and I was disrespected by you, but that's
I was not
fine.
disrespected.
That's fine. I was talking to the mayor, he answered me, the issue was done, and you interjected,
I asked the question.
and very disrespectful.
I just
I
asked
had
you a question.
apologized to the mayor. I had finished it, and I thanked you for the business of the other places, and I still do. I wanted him to know that from now on, my phone is always on. For community issues, or hardware issues, or lawnmower issues, or anything. But why wasn't I just given a call? Look, if I'd have given a bid and you'd have took another brand, there's no problem in that. If the guys wanted that at the park to be Kubota, that's fine. But at least I get a pat on the back for struggling like I did to start my businesses in this town. You know, give me that pat on the back, because I'm the one that started from the ground up with nothing. And I did that for Church Point. I just wanted to have, and I'm sorry, but thank y'all.
I mean, we try to keep business in church, but that's why
try to
Church
get
Point has
businesses
no
in
business.
church.
Because of the low demand, let's keep the businesses out. Absolutely. They got to stick
Oh, I know
together.
that.
We won't have no business.
Our town
That's
consists
all
of small
Chevrolet,
business
we lost
owners. This is what our town is, small business owners. And we choose, as small business owners, we choose to invest in our community. So support us too. Make choices to invest in our community. That's what small business owners do.
Needs to be taken care of.
Absolutely. You treat small business owners with respect.
Okay, Mr. Harold.
Well, I wanted to thank the town and you all for your support of the View Crest Chair and support that we did have a successful Mardi Gras open house on Sunday with several visitors from as far away as northern Arkansas, which doesn't peak in Thailand. But,
I had somebody at my house from England.
well, there you go.
From England.
I made contact on the spot with tour bus operator Journeys with Ginger out of the Chicken Run. That close to getting them to bring that bus into town. Look forward to working with her to bring the tour bus into town. Park in front of Presbyterian because I walked it myself at 10 o'clock. Oregon Street is very accessible, so that would be my goal for next year. But moving on with this year, our next event is on April 29th, Cajun's French speaking on the porch. And it's not a piggybacking or serving as an open to Cajun.
I announced it last year.
Excellent, thanks so much, and of course, we'll be happy to fill up on coffee. Send them your way. And I
You
think
feed them breakfast, I'll feed them the rest.
there you go. And another thing that I think would work out well if Lafayette picks up the publicity with the press releases that I sent out, is that Festival International is going on in Lafayette that weekend too. So it'll be an ideal thing. Those that don't stay out too late Friday night, come out to Church Point Saturday morning.
They always drain from there to here.
Excellent. Well, that's
They
the
always
plan.
do. We got them from England and everywhere else they come, so.
Well, good, I'm glad to
They
hear
bleed
that.
off. I don't, personally, international, I don't care for that music.
Yeah, well.
I don't know how to dance to that type of music. So there's a lot of people that say, well, I want to see the Cajun stuff, they come meet us.
Well, good.
Pretty cool.
Hope to see a lot of people there. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Fonte.
Thank you, Mr. Fonseca.
Thailand and all that, y'all got a South African sitting in your meeting every
You forgot, right?
No, Jimmy. And he prepped for Mardi Gras. His daughter's a queen.
This is like United Nations.
His daughter's a queen. A muffler.
Adjournment. Do I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
Did you have somebody else?
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You didn't sign the sheet.
9 days before you had Mardi Gras, you had a meeting here. And I believe that was way too late to be making decisions on this year's Mardi Gras. You need to be taking people's opinions from this meeting and around this time of year when it's still fresh in people's minds and taking those ideas forward to next year as a guidance for those people that are in office for next year. Because some, none, or all of you will be in office next year, we don't know. So you need to be making observations
and making recommendations for those people for next year to make it better. I enjoyed myself this year. My nephew from Australia enjoyed himself this year, and he got to help with a house fire. He had I'm sorry, it's someone's bad day is a firefighter's good day in some respect, and he had a good time and got to enjoy Mardi Gras. But we still observed that there was a lot of shortage of portalets around town. If you stood here, you saw a dozen portalets from here, from this location. You go a quarter of a mile down the road, there was nothing. I lied, it was 2. And they were like, a pig wouldn't have lived in those portalets by the end of the day. They were swimming. A guy wouldn't pee in them. Ladies wouldn't go within 10 feet of them. Okay? Those were my observations. Apart from that, the rules were left too late to be made clear. They were changing day by day, hour by hour. There were. The open container law was talked about at the meeting. On the morning of Mardi Gras, we were trying to put up canopies. We got told by a couple of officers, no, you're not allowed canopies on Main Street. We tried barbecuing. No, you're not allowed to barbecue. The next cop comes along and tells you, yeah, you can do that. Every officer had a different interpretation of what the rules were. So you all need to be making your decisions a lot sooner, putting it in black and white, and publicising those rules so that it's clear for everyone, because it makes it a problem for the officers on the day trying to enforce the rules if everyone's got a different rule book to go by. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
That's a good point.
Thanks,
Very
Dave.
good point.
Anybody else?
Daylight saving time, Sunday.
Daylight saving. Anybody else? Okay. Do I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.